Hello. Welcome to today's messages. Let's tune in to the energies of the day. Lovely, lovely. Yes. Excellent. Most excellent. Let's do it. Let's tap on in. See what the energies are for today, or the messages that are for us. I was just eating blueberry mini chocolate chip muffin. Oh yeah, it's one of my specialties. Mini muffins. You need the mini chocolate chips, mini dark chocolate chips. Otherwise, it's just too much chocolate. Regular chocolate chips? Psh, regular chocolate chips. Okay. We've got two coming out together. Beautiful. Because they're blue and a star and beautiful, beautiful. Balance. Yes. And drum roll, please. Recognition. Okay, look at yourself differently. Your self-criticisms that influence your self-esteem in a negative way. This is recognizing that you are amazing. You are light. You are love. You are capable. You are worthy. You are magical, right? Recognize these things. Recognize yourself as capable, and you are more likely to be so, right? Because our beliefs are the only things that limit us and keep us from all of the things. Oh, this plant. I always forget about it. It's like, I'm dying. Okay. And balancing, right? Because yes, we are creatures of life. We are expanding, growing, learning how to shine and be magical creatures, but we're also in this realm. We're also in this world doing things like paying bills and going to jobs and all of that stuff. So finding this balance, right? Okay. Gibo. Beautiful. Beautiful. Gibo talks about partnerships, all of the loving relationships. The swan knows the gift of lasting love. Is this one? Yes. Joining with their partner, they exchange a promise and a bond of fidelity, allegiance, and trust. Each lives in the harmonious cycle of giving and receiving while caring for, loving, and protecting each other. If you've seen Friends, there's that part where Joey's going to write the vows for Chandler and Monica, and when he starts talking about it with them, he's like, it's about giving and receiving and receiving and giving. Anyways, made me think of that. Okay, Gibo is a beautiful and generous symbol of sacred exchange. To receive, you must also release. Yeah, you need to create space for new things to enter, right? You can't You don't have room for that beautiful plant that you ran into on the side of the road when your garden's full already, right? So you got to get out those old ones that aren't going to grow back. Yes, it was beautiful last year, but it was a one-time show and that show's over, right? So rip it out, let it go, create space so that when you find these new beautiful things, you're like, I know exactly where this is going to go, right? When blessed, oh, hi, Muffin. You should in turn bless. This is the sacred exchange. This is energy transference, energy flow, right? Gibo encourages honoring your commitments and your contracts and returning like for like. Union comes in many forms: love, friendship, family, business. The key words are gifts, partnership, sacrifice, and fair exchange. When I think of sacrifice and that fair exchange, right, that's that energetic exchange. I was reading comments on a post on Facebook, and there was somebody piping up saying that people in the spiritual community who have gifts to share that help or in service to others should never charge for it. And I think that's bullcrap because it's about exchange, right? Whether you're doing a trade, it's like for like. A person who is sharing their gift is giving energy, right? And, even I think most people are happy for this kind of fair exchange. Like, you've done something wonderful for me. Let me, you know, give back somehow. And money is just a fast and effective way to do it. Um, so yes, like we sacrifice the money that we earned in exchange for something, right? It's just the nature of our life, our living. Even when you are sitting together and there's no physical exchange, it's energy for energy. You're still having an exchange going on, right? Okay. So when I think of sacrifice, it's kind of like sacrificing that old for new, right? When you are, say, upgrading a shower curtain, okay, this is just random. The You have to sacrifice the old one. You loved it, right? That's why you've had it for 15 years in your shower. You look at it, you love it, it reminds you of times in the shower, I don't know. And then you decide that it's time for a new one, and you can't have both of them. You need to let go of the one. You sacrifice the old one to give way to the new. Another sacred exchange, right? So beautiful, beautiful sacred exchange. And the sun, this is about speaking and thinking in line with the light. Yay! We'll take it. We'll take it and we'll love it and we'll make it part of our life. Choosing love, choosing light, choosing the sun, the life-giving power and majesty. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see what's up. Okay. We've got a card that's gonna come out here for us. There it is. And it's seeing things from different perspectives, right? The hanged man, the hanged one, is hanging upside down from a tree. When you're hanging upside down from a tree, there's little else that you can do except look around and see things differently because you're hanging upside down, right? And this is a call to your balancing and your recognition, right? Look at yourself differently, see yourself differently. Recognize that you are a beautiful spiritual being inhabiting your vessel, right? Your vessel is temporary, the soul is forever. And so love and cherish and show gratitude to the vessel that you are incarnated in this world, in this time. It is one that your soul specifically chose for you in this life. And so all of the efforts to deny our vessel is creating a disconnection with self, right? And so recognize that you are beautiful no matter what. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups, and I love the Two of Cups. Okay, and we've got a beautiful example of balance, right? Two of Cups is typically about two people who are coming together, who mirror each other, who complement each other, who it's like the yin and the yang. It's like, but also both standing on their own, right? There's no thrusting, here, take my heart. I don't know what to do with it. I need somebody to hold it for me, right? It's two people who are holding their own, who are coming together and they are choosing, hey, let's see if we work. Oh, yes, we work perfectly. Okay. And this loving support that is coming from choice, from I genuinely enjoy your company, your presence, your input, your all of the things that you bring to the table. And with the two of us, look at how grand our table is. Okay, so beyond the external, right, the relationships, I mean, these two cards coming together is speaking about beautiful unions of some kind or another. But at the very least, which is actually the most, is the union within self, the balance within self, right? Our masculine and feminine side, our doing and our being balanced, right? There's examples of this balance everywhere. I mean, from the sun and the moon, right? There's a time for shine, and then there's a time for darkness. There's a time to be, and there's a time to do, right? And there's with your shadow as well, shining light upon your shadows. So one of the things that but was presented to me as an example was the yin and yang. The yang lifts water up, and the yin crashes the water down. And the two make a wave. You can't have a wave without those two influences balanced together, right? So it's like the life giving of the sun or summer and the introspection, dormancy of the winter. Also, daytime awake and nighttime sleeping, right? Our body needs it. Okay. We've got, okay. So when cards come in a group, I read them as a group. So we have the Chariot coming to help you move out of choppy waters into calmer waters. This is the you and your efforts, your healing, your self-care, you're choosing light and love. Oh, Simon, he's such a bruiser. He's got a big wound on his head. He's the neighborhood unneutered ginger cat. And he's always got bruises and wounds all over him. Okay, anyways, cat. Okay. You doing what you are doing to move you from the chopper waters, choosing drama free or as drama free as possible, choosing not to engage when somebody baits you into an argument or something, right? You're choosing love, you're choosing peace, you're choosing a peaceful nervous system. All of this is you in your canoe rowing yourself away from the choppy into the calm. But we've got this backed by the chariot, okay? And the chariot, especially this image here, you've got all the moons in the background. So it's like the universe conspiring to line up timelines to meet you where you are at, right? Because it's a co-collaborative effort. And so you start by getting there, and then, maybe the universe provides some wind that helps, the difference between rowing with and rowing against the wind, right? This is all ways that the universe can help move you more efficiently. Okay, and then we've got this figure here who is reaching up and harnessing the sun power using the moon tool. So we've got that balancing again of your light and your shadow, of your day and your night. And sixes are also like an end. Ooh, we got double sixes here, right? The Six of Swords and the Six of Wands came together. So this is telling me that because you are choosing the light, actively engaging with love, light, peace, and moving yourself, this inspires, encourages the universe to respond helpfully. To respond helpfully. Yes. In a lot of different ways. Right? Signs and synchronicities that lead you and move you. Okay, we got the Queen of Cups coming out. This is you with a regulated nervous system, centered into your heart space. Okay, this is who you are right before this happens. This is who you are when this is happening internally, but it is also your cup, right? And then any relationships that come to you that are also having this cup, the two of you put your cups together and then you supersize, because it's a beautiful, nourishing, safe environment to be when two people choose to be with each other who are both overflowing, both in their own, right? Oh, we got the devils coming out and grounding. So grounding the shadow, grounding the doubts and fears, the things that want to come up against your heart, who want to rein you back into the dark, to the conflict, to the dysregulation, right? And this is why your free will is so important, because you choose in every moment light and love. And there will be a lot of adversaries, a lot of attempts to pull you back, to bring you, to confuse you, to tie you up and keep you from your momentum. This is why it's tricky work. It's tricky business. For right now, because we're in an in-between. And our job is to anchor in the love, anchor in the light. And we do that by choosing it more often than not. And this isn't about like guilt tripping or feeling bad because you slipped into an old way or whatever. It's about recognizing and choosing differently right in that moment, and then getting better and better at choosing and going. And then pretty soon, you're just there. There's no choice. This is just where we live now, in the light, in the love. Okay. We've got the moon. Okay. Not all things are to be revealed. There are things hidden, right? There are fears and adversaries hiding around every corner, wanting to jump out and distract you and pull you in. And you are just going and flowing. You are this crab here, and you're just floating, right? Things could hide in the bush. It ain't no thing. You're just a floating and enjoying the view. And look, there's another crab on the shore there. And this is exactly how you draw in when you're in this flow state of open-heartedness. You end up flowing by other people who are in this place. And then you're like, oh, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey. It looks like you're heading in my direction. Let's tie our floaties together and float for a while. Okay. Okay, so there is your regulated nervous system. This is a card of you have done it. You have to have. This is where you need to get. This is before you graduate into your beingness, right? Where you build momentum, you choose consciously for a regulated nervous system, your emotional regularity. You become emotionally proficient, right? Then you become a queen, someone who is able to be emotionally regulated, okay? And then you draw in other emotionally regulated peeps. Okay, so we've got abundance growing in the background, okay? This is your faith and trust in things working behind the scenes in your favor, right? Seeds that you have planted, growing. You trust it. You know it. You don't have to see it. You feel it. You know it is happening. Here we've got the universe's hand guiding you, empowering you, right? And this is the legacy abundance card. Look at that. Legacy, because it's affecting generations here. And look at all the varying, beautiful shapes and sizes blooming in your favor here. So I'm getting this unknown, right? This movement into the unknown. We just know that we want to get away from the drama, from the choppy waters, and we want calm waters, right? This is that trust that the efforts that you're making will pay off, right? And this is the payoff. Okay. And what that looks like, how that arrives, how it appears, how it manifests itself is yet to be revealed. Okay. And also start looking at everything in a different way. Start pouring gratitude and appreciation into all of the things that you already have, the circumstances, your job, your home, your bed, your food, your shoes, your vehicle, right? There's lots of things, your family, your friends. There's lots of ways that we can be grateful now. And this is part of the regulation, right, of your nervous system. This is your moving yourself out consciously with your choices every day. The thing is, when we engage with other people in conflict, we create contracts, which is funny because Gibo was talking about honoring your contracts, right? But there are some, but it also said something about returning like for like. And there are some contracts out there that are just meant to stall you out, right? You're flowing and going, and you've got things on the side of the road being like, come over here, get out of where you're going, and come hang out on this bank with me. Well, now you're not flowing and going anymore, even if it's, you know, adorable or super interesting or whatever. I mean, adversaries aren't always dark and, you know, obviously something that you want to avoid, right? Okay. Let's get an what are this one? What are these ones called? Archetype. Let's get an archetype. I'm going to try for just a quick message today. See, I mean, the main one is see yourself differently. The forest. The forest. 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 Okay, we'll take that one. We'll just take it. It's a 36. 30. 4, 5, 6. The woods, the thicket, and the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. See that balance in there? It requires first that you enter it and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage and entanglements, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends among the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back. So embrace the dim light and the moving shadows, whether literal or imaginal. Brave the forest and get lost getting found. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is a beautiful place to connect with self, to recognize, right? To put things into perspective. What are we arguing about? What is all this drama about, right? Oh, did I show you what the forest one looks like? It's gorgeous. Okay. The hunter, the maiden, the crone, and the shaman make regular appearances in the forest. Don't be surprised if these cards come up together. Let the narrative reveal itself. I mean, it could have. There was a group that came down and I didn't look at. Okay. If you get out of the forest without feeling lost, you are only in a little grove of trees. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our life. There's that balance, right? A little bit scary, but also a little bit exciting. And this is the unknown. This is where you're heading in this beautiful, and that's the sacred exchange, right? To um, go out into the forest, there are so many unknowns. There is so much uncontrollable aspects, right? And this is why there's the fear. There's also things unseen and hidden, and but it is what expands us. It's what um, gives us experience that we gain wisdom from. This is that beautiful balance, and also a recognition, like we get so caught up in creating safe spaces, right? And yes, they're important and it's an important aspect, but it needs to be balanced. Not to say that we need to balance it with fear on a regular basis, but it's about pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone. That's something that I've always thought, like, life happens outside of your comfort zone. It is those surprises, those unknown features that um, aid our expansion. Okay, when in light, magic abounds, childlike wonder and adventure, right? All adventures have that little bit of fear. It's this perfect balance of the unknown. What are we going to discover, right? The exploration and discovery. Beautiful. Okay, when dark, concealment, density, and savagery. Okay. Yeah, this is giving me that shadow balance, especially because we started talking about the sun. Okay, let's get some love messages. I'm gonna two-hand shuffle here. Oh, I'm a two-hand pick apparently. Trust the process. Yes. Trust that the efforts that you are making are going to be matched in kind by the universe, this collaboration, right? So trust it when things are falling away. Become an observer, right? Let them. Don't try to hold on to things. Things need, remember that sacred exchange, right? Instead of, and this is a good way of looking at things differently, when something's falling away, when something's breaking, when something's adjusting, shifting, let it, observe it, be like, oh, I see something is moving there, and get excited about this space that that is creating, and the potential of what, and the discovery, right? That excitement, like, ooh, I have this space. Like, you created a space in your garden, finally getting rid of that old dead plant. And now that it's all ready and the bed's ready, you're like, ooh, what's gonna go in there? Right? And then you're driving around one day and you take a wrong turn, and all of a sudden there's a plant sale, and you're like, oh my God, that plant is gonna look perfect in the spot that I have ready, right? Okay. Set clear boundaries. Yes, especially when it's talking about adversaries and things that pull us into conflict, right? When you recognize, it's okay to say, no, I don't want to go that way anymore, right? When somebody baits you and tries to engage in some conflict with you, you can just say no and walk away, right? Set clear boundaries. No is a whole sentence. Okay, shine bright like a diamond. Yes, this is your time. This is your recognition. You are a star. The recognition card. Look, you're a star. Okay, recognize it. And diamonds are created through extreme pressure. This is this movement away is you already have gone through the pressure stage of becoming a diamond. Now all that's left is for you to shine and to shed the old ways of being. You had to be a certain way in order to be in that transformative alchemical process of coal turning into diamonds. But now that you're a diamond, the diamond doesn't need to keep going through that anymore. This is the unknown. How do I just have to shine? I don't know how to do that. I'm used to doing all these other things differently, right? Okay. Gratitude. Yeah. Gratitude is a power source. Okay. Gratitude is the calling card of the universe. The more you are grateful for, the more the universe provides things to be grateful for. This is why it is so powerful to get into the habit of gratitude. Maintain the attitude of gratitude. Okay, we got set clear intentions. Okay, just like set clear boundaries, your intentions are just as important. This is the whole magic process, right? When spells are being cast, it is an intention using your power of your voice to create through your intention. Well, to speak your intention is to doubly power it, because now it's got the frequency of your voice power. And I was just came across this thing about the monad. I need to look into that more, but it's something to do with your speaking things into being with a knowing, not a believing, because when you're trying to believe something, there's room for disbelief, right? When you know something, that's it. You just know it. Okay. Be the smile on someone's face. Okay. And that is one way to totally annoy anybody who's trying to bait you into drama, is you just say no and smile and walk away, right? But also don't wait for other people to smile at you before you smile at them. And also don't smile at people for that exchange, that instant exchange, right? I mean, we've all done that, smiled at somebody and they just glare at you and you're like, huh, I totally smiled at them and they just glare at me. How dare they? Right? Well, that's an expectation and trying to control somebody else. Sometimes people are so in their thing that they don't recognize it right away, right? They're so used to people glaring at them that they don't recognize that somebody's smiling. And then by the time you look and away and move on, they're like, wait a second, that person just smiled at me, right? And think of it as smiles to random people as tossing little seeds in people's gardens, right? It's going to bloom somewhere else. They might, or just assume that they will send or give a smile to somebody else. Okay. Sexy bath time. Yes, treat yourself good, right? When we feel good, this is powerful. So do what you need to feel good, okay? Even if it's comfort food. Now we've got the balance, right? So we could have eating disorders that make us feel good at the time, but then we feel crappy after. And so that's not a good exchange, right? We want to create food with gratitude, right? So grateful for your ingredients, grateful for the combination, for the alchemical process, right? For your hand in the creation you create when you make food, and gratitude when you're eating it, each bite, each flavor. get really ridiculous about your gratitude and see how that affects your intake, right? You are what you eat. Eat gratitude. Gratitude blooms. Okay, and ground yourself. Yes. This is that balance, right? The heart and the higher self. The heart is the earth plane, right? It is a physical thing in this world. Your higher self, well, that is a little bit more ethereal and ephemeral. Um, and so we need the balance in all areas. So grounding, it's also a beautiful way of releasing. When you're grounding in, you can also release, let go of the things that are holding on to you. And I mean, you don't have to research very hard and fast to find all of the beautiful benefits of grounding. Okay, there it is. That's the reading for today. Okay, short and sweet, but gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. Trust the process wherever you are at. Get good at seeing and engaging in the unknown in a beautiful way. Okay, and ground and release all of those distractions that keep you from the love and the light and all of the beautiful things. Okay, you are gorgeous and I love you and I'm so grateful for you. And the world is better because you're here. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. Okay, see you next time. Love you. Bye.